Today's podcast is pre-recorded. Hey everybody, this is Mona Bodane, and I'm excited to welcome all of you to my new podcast, Uptown with Mona, where we will be engaging with various hip-hop artists, poets, and entrepreneurs. So come listen and hang out with Mona Bodane and Uptown with Mona. Today's show is sponsored by Veganhood.
Meet with me at Vegan Hood in New York City. I heard that they had the best vegan fried chicken here, so I had to come check it out. For appetizers, we ordered the cheese fries and the Beyond Meat stuffed empanadas. Both were super delicious. And for entrees, of course, we had to try their famous vegan fried chicken and their shrimp fry. I have to say, this is probably the best vegan comfort food I've ever had. The mac and cheese was so tasty, the potato salad was well seasoned and flavorful. I'm telling you, you need to check this place out next time you're in New York.
Today's podcast is pre-recorded. Hey everybody, I want to welcome everybody to Uptown with Mona. Excuse the noise. It's like I'm out in the street, but I'm home and I live on the app. So yeah, check this out. Today, I want to say I have a very special friend coming online with us. His name, he's one of the greatest that I know, I can say, photographers. We go back to diapers and fucking baby bottles and shit. So I want to bring in, I'm not going to do no intro. Wait, before that, let me say this. If you want to donate to Uptown with Mona, you can go to Cash App, Miss Bode 125. That's MSBODE 125, and you can donate to keep the show going because that's how I get, anyway. So, all right, guys, let's go. Let me bring in my guest. His name is Joe Conzo. I love you, Papi. I'm so happy to see you. You know what we need to get back here? We need to get the background audio of clapping. We need to get the clapping audio for y'all. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. It's been a minute. I mean,
It's been forever.
We grew up together in the streets of the Bronx and
the
hung out together and went our separate paths, reconnected.
We always, every so often, we run into each other, and I'm like, nigga, what you doing here? And I'm taking pictures or whatever you doing. But I've always, every now and then, I run into Eric. I mean, I haven't seen Eric, which is your brother, in some years, but I would always either run into him or your daughter. Your sister,
Stacy or
Lupe. Lupita. I always talk to Lupita online. So yeah, family. This guy right here, y'all, the dopest. His family is dope. I don't want to say a lot. I want him to tell the story, but I just get so excited because this is somebody who watched me grow up and I watched him grow up. And although we may have gone our separate ways, we always kind of, I always check in, look online, do my little peeping around and see what's going on, start lurking and shit and check out, make sure everybody's still cool, still alive, So, Joe, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good.
How was your day? How's your day going so far?
It's raining, but it's good. You got to stay busy.
You still in the Bronx?
No, I moved up to Middletown, New York a couple years ago.
Boo.
And I love it. I love
it, yeah.
Listen, I should have done it years ago. But listen, everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm up here. My dad's up here. He's been up here for about 20 years, so I see him more often.
Okay.
He's the last of the Mohicans, of my elders, so to speak. So it's good to be close to him. And, enjoying life. Right. You have to. I got up this morning.
Yes.
We got up this morning.
We woke up this morning. Absolutely.
All that fucking counts.
And I need a synopsis before I ask you these questions. I call them 16 bars, 16 questions, right?
Right.
And the first question I want, because I didn't add that to the list. I want you to give me a synopsis for the crew, for everybody online to hear of your family. I mean, you could even mention UBP. UBP is my history.
I mean, listen, I'm Joe Conzo Jr.
Yes.
My father is Joe Conzo Sr., who's the foremost historian on Latin music. He ran with Tito Puente and those people for 40, 50 plus years.
Yeah.
My mother, the late Lorraine Montenegro,
Mm-hmm.
is a community activist. There's a street corner named after her. There's a
Yep.
building named after her, the Lorraine
Mm-hmm.
Montenegro Women's Center. She started the first drug rehab for women with children
Yeah.
in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Grandson of Evelina Antonetti, the Hell Lady of the Bronx,
Oh, I
who
love her.
started United Bronx Parents, who is responsible for bilingual education in the
Yes.
public schools, who's
Yes.
responsible for the summer lunch program, the breakfast program,
Yes.
for parent teachers organization.
Mm-hmm.
She took on Hollywood, the city government. So I come from a long list of family activists, and in
Mm-hmm.
right, I tried to make my family proud of what I've done. So besides my photography, I did 27 years with the New York City Fire Department as an EMT
Mm-hmm.
medic. The last 8 years, I was the union vice president, so I wore a suit and tie, and I was yelling and screaming at the mayor and city council and all those knuckleheads.
You do something about this mayor.
Yeah. And then I'm a cancer survivor. You
No
know,
kidding.
1 year after I retired from the fire department, I got diagnosed with pancreatic and liver cancer,
Oh no.
and I've been in remission now 5 years.
God bless you.
5 years.
Thank God you're still here.
Yeah. That's why I'm so grateful that I got up today.
Absolutely. I agree.
God is good.
Right. Let me tell you. Before we start questions, I must tell y'all that this guy knows me since I was 9 or 10 years old. UBP, aka United Bronx Parents. That was the it was a daycare center and after school program for kids in the neighborhood. I lived right across the street from the United Bronx Parents Center. It was a big building. His grandmother, Mrs. Antonetti, was the dopest lady, and I didn't know that she was so powerful as she was until after she passed. When I got older and I started reading up on Mrs. Antonetti, you got to look up Mrs. Evelina Antonetti because she was nothing to fuck with. Nothing to fuck with. You know, whew. If I knew then what I know now about that lady, God bless her. I'm grateful to have
But
even
Ramona,
known
you got
her.
to understand something. We were young back then, so we
Yes,
didn't understand.
yes,
We appreciated having a place to go to after
yes,
school, getting our little summer program check,
yeah.
winter program check,
Mm-hmm.
doing what we did in the neighborhood, cleaning up the neighborhood,
Right.
helping out as much as we can, having a safe place to go.
Absolutely. And our neighborhood was safe back in
Yes,
the 70s. It
yes,
was very safe.
yes.
The neighborhood, they had the gangs. You had like the building I lived in, they had a lot of Savage Skulls that lived in my building.
So, my grandmother didn't discriminate. You're a
Exactly.
human being.
Exactly.
You're a gang member, a drug
Yes.
addict, this, that, and the other. You want a job? Go
Right.
home, wash your ass, come back, and I'll give you a job.
Exactly. That's
And that's
exactly what she
why,
did.
the Ghetto Brothers, Yellow Benji was part of
Mm-hmm.
United Bronx Parents,
Mm-hmm.
Savage Skulls, Butch
Mm-hmm.
Kelly, and
That's my brother, Butch Kelly.
oh,
Yeah.
I
I
miss
miss him too. I
I
miss
miss
him too.
Butch. You know,
He was with the Black Spades. I think it
um,
was the Black Spades he was with.
one of
It was
them.
one
But
of them, yeah.
United Bronx Parents was a place for everybody,
Mhm.
and that's why she was loved so much and respected
Mhm.
so much in the community,
Yeah.
and nobody messed with her.
Nobody messed with her.
And
Nobody
the few
messed with.
times she did have a run-in with the cops, it was like, oh shit.
Mhm.
They tried to close down IS 52,
Uh-huh.
and she demonstrated and got beat with a billy club, and that
Wow.
was it. We surrounded the precincts, the gangs, and this, that, and the other, and the rest is
Mhm.
history. Hollywood,
Wow.
Hollywood came into the Bronx and
Mhm.
made the movie Fort Apache the Bronx, and we demonstrated and this, that, and the other, and Hollywood apologized and wrote a disclaimer in the beginning of the movie. Unheard of. Unheard
Wow.
of. So,
Wow.
she was a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You really got to read up on her. I recommend anyone who's watching this show today to really. She was something. But anyway, let's get to these questions. Let me ask you the first question, though. So you already know it's 16 questions, 16 bars, 16 questions, right? First question: how did you get into photography?
Would you like me to rap the 16 bars?
No, if you want to.
How did I get into photography? My stepfather, Michael Kane, Jared and
Mm-hmm.
Stacy's father, who
Yeah.
adopted us,
Mm-hmm.
was a family amateur photographer and was taking pictures of us growing up.
Right.
And I just caught the bug, so to
Yeah.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
And the school I went to at the time, yeah, that's me with
Yeah. Oh, look
my
at you.
unibrow and my Angela Davis afro. And but that's a, I was about 16, 17 years old. But
Uh-huh.
I had caught the photography bug earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went to school, I went to a charter school at Columbia University. We lived in Manhattan at the time.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Agnes Russell, and they taught photography.
No
And the rest
way.
is history.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Look at
That's
that.
one of my so that's in Roseland Ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
And Roseland Ballroom, as you know, is downtown.
Yeah.
That's what we call a cipher. And
Yep.
that's a b-boy,
Yep.
typical b-boy, Lee pants, Adidas sneakers, mock neck shirt, doing his thing in the middle of the cipher. And
Mm-hmm.
Mona, can you go back to that picture for a second?
Go back. There you
If
go.
you look at the top right hand corner, you recognize that guy with the white shirts and white tube socks? That's
Right.
Ruben.
Right. With wait on
I mean,
that's the left hand, left
left,
side.
yeah,
Who's that?
left top hand corner. That's Ruben from UBP.
Ruben. I don't remember
Ruben and
Ruben.
Denise, they were the most famous couple at UBP.
Probably by
Anyway,
face. I remember them by face.
that's one of my pictures when hip hop went downtown, so to speak.
Wow.
Yeah.
And question two leads into this. What inspired you to focus on hip hop culture in your work?
Well, I mean, I'm known as a hip hop photographer
Yes,
because
you
of
are.
my relationship with some of the pioneers. I
Mm-hmm.
went to school with Easy AD and Tony Tone from the Cold Crush Brothers, Easy
Mm-hmm.
at South Bronx High School, and they, were forming a group.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even called hip hop back then,
Mm-hmm.
and I got invited to take pictures. And the next thing you know, I'm traveling with them throughout the Bronx, throughout the city, and taking pictures of rappers. And then everything just came together under an umbrella, and it started being called hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And but not only that, I'm taking pictures of park jams
Right.
and demonstrations and UBP and family photos, and so I'm known as the man who took hip hop's baby pictures, but my
Yeah.
work is so much more than that, and it's
I,
okay
I
because of
agree.
that. I've Ramona, I've been to Bulgaria.
Get out of here.
Fucking cool is that? I've been to Japan, Korea, London, Germany. I mean, you name it
Oh my God.
because of my hip hop photos.
Wow.
I mean, how many kids from the Bronx get to travel
Yeah.
because of their love and passion? And
Yeah.
I'm so blessed, so blessed.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so
I
that,
started shooting a little bit probably around when I was in my earlier days, younger days. And then I had to, work, had kids, blah, blah, blah. And then when my son passed away, I said, I got to do something with my life because I'm going to end up doing something crazy. And I started shooting but more professional.
right.
So I'm pretty nice with my shit. I'll show you some pics later, I'll show you something. I ain't as good as y'all though, as you and Ricky and them. I am not as good as y'all, man. I inspire to be like y'all one day. What can I say?
Listen, everybody has their own lane, their own
Yeah,
eye. Keep
yeah,
doing what you're doing, and everything what we're doing now, these podcasts are going to become archival for
yes.
people to look back on 10, 15, 20 years from now. So
Mm-hmm.
it is our responsibility to document
Everything.
our stuff,
Yep.
our,
And that's what you did. That's what you did, and that's what Ricky did, and it's a few other ones that I can't
yeah,
think of their names, but that are all from the Bronx.
yeah,
That all that have I'm like, oh shit, that was done. I remember that. I remember that day. I remember when that happened. Yeah, it's fun. It's crazy. Okay, let's go. Can you tell us memorable moment in photography, hip hop? Wait, let me restart that again. Can you tell us about a memorable moment in photography for you, hip hop?
I mean, listen, they're all memorable to me. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I don't have one specific time or anything like that. It just got to a point hanging with the Cockroach Brothers. I got to meet, Cool Herc, Africa Bambaataa, Flash and the Furious Five, all the pioneering groups.
Mm-hmm.
Milk D, who Dana
I
Dane.
interviewed Milk D. I interviewed Milk D
Yeah,
like a week or two
yeah,
ago. I
that's my
interviewed him.
man. That's my
Hmm.
man. I love
I
him. I
interviewed
love
him.
him. And so they're all memorable to me.
Hmm.
They're all, and we were so close that they used to come to the house. Ad loved my mother's cooking.
Hmm.
You
I'm
know,
sure.
Tony and all those guys loved my mother's cooking, and my mom, who raised 5 kids by herself,
Hmm.
it was an open door, and that's how the Bronx was at the time.
Back in the day, it
If there
sure
wasn't
was.
enough food, you knew your next door neighbor had food, or vice
Hmm.
versa.
Hmm.
You knew when to go home. You knew when dinner was being served. You knew the cop's name on the corner because he knew your parents, so that there was no
Right.
disrespecting. You know
Right.
what I mean? And it was just more of a family unity back then.
Hmm. Yeah, I remember. I miss that. That
Yes,
whole era. I miss that.
yes,
Where you can go and you got to be cool because if not, the neighbor will see you.
yep. Oh,
Oh,
you're
and
from
they'll fuck
Monica.
you.
I
Right.
know who your parents are. I'm
That's
gonna
right.
tell them.
I'm gonna tell them. Right.
Yep,
Exactly. So everybody kept everybody in check.
yep.
Yeah. So
Now,
okay,
now, now you don't even know who your neighbors are
at all. I know
at
the
all.
lady next door to me, but uh, that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother podcast. So number four, how has hip hop music influenced your photography style?
Um. So eh, it's influenced me where you got to respect the subject.
Hmm.
Okay. So I respect the people that I'm taking pictures of, especially the hip hop artists,
Right.
the rappers, the b boys.
Right.
You know, the DJs, the MCs. You have to respect the subject.
Right.
And if you respect them, they'll respect you. That's why I have the clout that I have to shoot some of the biggest rappers, DJs in the world. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I can show up in Detroit, call LL saying I'm in town while he's doing a concert, come backstage and shoot it because
Mm-hmm.
that's the respect that we have for each other.
Right.
Ice T also, but it's just, that's how, hip hop in general has influenced my photography style
Yeah.
because if you respect your subject, they'll respect you.
Absolutely. I agree. I definitely agree with that.
And you don't want your picture taken by Joe Conzo. That's cool. You won't.
Right.
You won't be in my next book.
Right. How about that? Right.
It's all good. It's all good.
Ricky has a couple of pictures of me that
Yes.
that are all over the internet.
Yes.
It's one of me. I'm
You Wiggles.
uh-huh. Stevie with Stevie and
Maze and
yes.
all. Yeah.
Yeah, Jerry and all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, question number five. What challenges have you faced as a photographer in the Bronx, in the South Bronx?
Challenges were that photography became my love and passion. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an expense you have to do. So, whatever job I can get, especially working at UBP or in other places, a lot of my money went towards buying film and camera equipment and stuff. So, those were the challenges. We were fortunate enough to be associated with the organization like
Right.
United Bronx Parents and get a summer youth core job and get a
Mm-hmm.
winter, job and stuff. But, you have to concentrate on school first and you worked when you can. And
Right.
then, back in those days, you had the five-finger discount,
Yep.
you know,
Yep.
and whatever fell off the back of the truck.
How about that?
So to speak. But there was challenges. You love this medium of photography so much,
Mhm.
it costs money. So
Right.
being a kid, the oldest of five kids, being raised by a single parent,
Hmm.
the first thing you did when you got a paycheck was cut your mother off some money
Right.
because
Hit her with some money. Right. Hit her off.
lived
Yeah.
under her household.
Hmm.
And whatever you had left over, you can buy your pair Lee jeans or sneakers and buy
Go to Jew man. Go to Jew man.
man and and buy a couple rolls of film.
Hmm. Right.
So those were the challenges.
Hmm.
We didn't come from a wealthy family, so to speak, you and I. So we
Right.
had to work hard for what we wanted.
Harder for what we wanted. Yeah. Yeah.
But that made us into who we
Who
are.
we are today. Exactly. Yep. Number 6. How do you capture the energy and spirit of hip hop in your photos? I've seen
Well,
your work, so I know what you do.
my style of shooting is performance based, documentarian style. You know, again, I want to be that fly on the wall. I don't want to take the same picture everybody else is taking.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to capture the people in my neighborhood, what's going on, where I'm at. I want to transport you back to a time. I want to capture a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've honed my eyes, my skills to do that with my work, my black and white work that sits at Cornell University, 10,000 negatives, and even my digital work today, when I travel today. I don't want to be that typical photographer that takes that same picture that everybody else is taking. When I shoot big events, I tell the sponsors or whoever's doing it, I need a leave the fuck alone Joe Conzo pass. Leave me alone.
Right.
I want
Right.
access front stage, backstage, side stage, green room, black room, bathroom, trailer. Just leave me alone.
Right.
And I'll give you some dope ass pictures that you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be just that photographer that stays in front of the venue, the stage, and shoots just like everybody else is shooting.
Right.
I can't. And if I can't get one of those leave me the fuck alone passes, I won't shoot your event.
I hear you. No, I understand.
That's it.
Why you getting in the middle of what I'm trying to do for them? You
You
know what I
know,
mean?
photographers are a dime a dozen today. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These big concerts and stuff, they'll have 30 photographers in a cattle pen
Mm-hmm.
in front of the venue. They'll let you shoot the first three songs. They hustle you off like cattle to the side, and then they bring you back. And it's like, how are you supposed to get anything significant if you're only allowed to shoot the first three songs? And if
Right.
you're only allowed to stay there?
And
So,
everyone is shooting the same shot, taking the same shot.
exactly. So,
Mm-hmm.
when I do, Rock the Bells Festival, I'm like one of their official photographers.
Uh-huh.
I'll say, that's Joe Conzo. Leave him the fuck alone. And I can go where the fuck I want and take pictures.
Shit, I would love to go with you next time you go. Let me know. Man, I'll carry your bags for
And,
you. Fuck that.
most of the artists know who I am anyway. So it's
Uh,
like, oh, that's Joe Conzo. Don't worry about it.
mm-hmm. That's cool.
You could be yourself
Yeah.
around me.
Yeah. So number 7, what message do you hope to convey through your photos?
Um, the onus, the responsibility is for us to tell our narrative, our
Mm.
story, and that's what I do through my photography. Tell my story through my photographs,
I
and
agree. I understand that.
I try my best to just tell a story with my
Right.
photograph
Right. Because
coming from my perspective.
these new kids, these millennials, and the ones coming after them, when we're gone, they have all these pictures from.
Well, I mean, listen, I was raised, and I'm pretty sure you were raised the same way too. If you
Hmm.
love something so much, you got to know the history.
Exactly.
You have to know the history. So
Exactly.
I knew who were some of the great photographers at the time. I knew other photographers at the time,
Mm-hmm.
so I looked up to them. They mentored me, and I'm just hoping that the same thing happens, that people, because everybody's a photographer today.
Oh yeah.
Everybody,
Yep.
that's okay, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna document, but just document right.
No, right. No, you don't. You're not doing it right. Wait, you're not doing it right. I know because I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I number eight. Question number eight. Can you share a favorite project or collaboration you've worked on in the hip hop industry?
God, there's been so many. You keep mentioning Ricky's name. Ricky and I belong to a collective of photographers called Seis del Sur, Six
Mm-hmm.
of the South.
Mm-hmm.
And it's myself, Ricky Flores, David Gonzalez, Frankie Molina Reyes, who you
Mm-hmm.
know from UBP days,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Angel Franco, and
Mm-hmm.
Edwin Pagan. Six
Uh-huh.
Puerto Ricans from the Bronx who grew up taking pictures in the Bronx, all from a different perspective,
Mm-hmm.
all from different parts of the Bronx in New York.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done a dozen shows together that have traveled all over the place. And I'm proud of that collaboration. They're my brothers. And, you know, the Bronx is known as, drugs and gangs and,
We
abandoned
get a got a
buildings.
bad rap. We get a bad
But,
rap in the Bronx.
there was so much beauty going on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to my show today at the Bronx Documentary Center, here's a plug.
Okay.
I have a show at the Bronx Documentary Center on Cortlandt Avenue, 151st Street.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Conzo. Look back at the Bronx, 77 to 84.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to show what else was going on in the Bronx during this time. It
Right.
wasn't just about fires and gangs and drugs. There was so much more going on.
Right.
So, I love collaborating with other photographers, Martha Cooper, Henry Chalfant, all those guys. You know, I've literally traveled the world with a bunch of
I
other
love it.
photographers,
I
especially
love
for
it.
the hip hop industry. So,
I love it. I love it. Okay, number nine. Have you had any challenges with a certain project or subject matter?
um, the challenges I've had is just trying to keep up with the technology, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak. I'm so old school.
Mm-hmm.
Film is the way to go, and but if you want to stay up to date, I had to go digital, which I was scared of.
Right.
But like Milk D, who you had on the other day, I was
Mm-hmm.
working for a hip hop magazine based in Europe,
Right.
and they would call me up and send me to photo shoots, and I had to go digital because I did a photo shoot with Milk D, and they needed the stuff so it could be published out in Europe, in the next day or two. So, staying up with technology, and I'm so old school, is a challenge for an
Yeah.
old G like myself. And now I have to worry about AI, artificial,
That now.
you know, and don't get me wrong, technology is good,
Mm-hmm.
but scary.
But right.
Scary. It's
Yes.
getting to a point where people can type in codes, put in South Bronx, Puerto Rican, Afro, B-boy, this, that, and the other, and come up with a photograph that looks better than my
Yep.
photograph and Ricky's photograph 100 times over.
Yep.
And they'll use that AI generated photograph in a documentary instead of licensing an image from me or Ricky,
They don't want to pay. It
because they
costs too
don't
much money. Costs
cost
money
me.
to pay. Yeah.
So, those are the challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And what do you have? What advice do you have for aspiring hip hop photographers?
I mean, listen, know the basics. Know the basics. You have to know how photography works and how it started. You know, Photographers, these young kids today, they have the luxury of just putting their camera on automatic and it'll do everything for them. They have no idea about the mathematics that come in depth of field. Your flash is only good for 2 or 3 feet, 7 feet, this, then the other. They have no idea. Shutter speed, aperture, know the foundations of photography, and then
Mm-hmm.
move on to that. You know, um, just know the history, know
Right.
some of the greats,
Right. Study.
study.
Mm-hmm. So, how do you stay inspired and creative?
It's hard, Mona. It's hard. There's days where I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm not taking pictures. But don't get me wrong. I'm well respected in the hip hop community, the freestyle music, the Latin community. I can, I just shot, the freestyle event at Lehman a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
But, it's just how much can you take pictures of the same group for so many years?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to get inspired.
Okay.
And what inspires me is their love of my work, so to speak, their
Mm-hmm.
respect for my work. That inspires me. And to be creative, you just gotta, try and shoot
Yeah.
differently from everybody else.
Right. Right.
Try different things, different photography is such a medium of art that you can do so much with it. And
Yeah.
you try and get inspired. But
Yeah.
yeah, there are days where like, nah, I ain't taking pictures today. I'm
Yeah.
getting old. My knees hurt. My feet
Ah,
hurt. My back hurt.
my back.
I got to be in
I
bed by nine
started
o'clock and shit.
right. No, I'm in bed by 8:30. How about that? The TV's get ready. The TV's watching me at that point. How about it, right?
Yeah,
We are now the OGs. How about that?
that's right.
We're the OGs. Be like, I know. Hi, Miss Mona. I'm like, shut up, Miss Mona. Cool. Because there was a time where I was sexy Mona. I'm no longer sexy Mona. I'm Miss Mona now, or Auntie Mona. How about that, right?
So true.
Oh man. All right, where we at now? Number 12. Yeah. How has the hip hop community in the South Bronx embraced your photography?
They have embraced me like one of their sons,
Mm-hmm.
grandsons, brother, father and stuff. I'm well respected, because I give back.
Right.
There's a saying, and for your viewers, I'm in recovery. I've
Mm-hmm.
been clean and sober now 33 years. There was a
Yeah.
time where I was homeless and dealing with substance abuse. So we have a saying, you can't keep it unless you give it away.
Right.
That's how I am in life general.
Right.
So, my opening at the Bronx Documentary Center 2 weeks ago, we
Mm.
had over 400 people there.
Damn, I wish I could have been there.
Mona, it was
I
exhausting.
wish I could have
It
been
was
there.
exhausting, but it was so grateful. I was so humbled. But at 9 o'clock, I was there. Grant was in Theodore, was the DJ. We had
Uh,
Crazy Legs there. We had, I mean, everybody and their mother was there.
damn, I
B-boys
needed to
and
be there.
girls. I had the Tats crew come in with Sash and Crash and
Hmm.
graffiti art all over the place, along with my photographs. But let me tell you something. At 9 o'clock, I was fucking tired.
Yeah.
And I'm turning the lights on and off. Jerry Mays is dancing in a cipher. I'm like, y'all motherfuckers got to go the fuck home.
But he got to go home. Y'all got to go. I'm tired. I want to go
I'm
to
tired.
bed.
But I'm loved and well respected
Damn, I
in
wish I
this
could
South
have been
Bronx.
there. I had surgery, so I couldn't
Yeah,
go. I was because I wanted to go.
I
I
hear
couldn't
you.
make it.
I hear you.
Whenever you have the next one, you got to keep me updated because I
Yes.
definitely want to go. Because I haven't seen these guys, Tats Crew, and all of them. I haven't seen them in many years, 30 years easily. Shit. Okay, now, have you
Oh, shit.
faced, yeah, have you
Oh,
faced any
shit.
backlash or criticism for your work in the hip hop industry?
Actually, no. Up until a year ago.
What happened last year?
About a year ago, there's this big thing. This, I really don't want to talk about it, but I'll talk about it because you're you. and you're my
Mm-hmm.
sister. This
Mm-hmm.
whole thing about Latinos' contributions to the hip hop culture.
Okay.
There's a handful of people saying that we were visitors, we were invited, we didn't help start
I heard about that.
this 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 culture, and like that's your opinion. You know, keep it. I don't subscribe to that.
Mm-hmm.
If you were born in the Bronx and raised in the Bronx like I was,
Yep.
my community consisted of Puerto Ricans, blacks, Jewish,
Dominicans,
some,
Jewish, all of them.
some Asian people,
Mm-hmm.
this, that, and the other. We were a mixed
Yep.
melting pot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Whether you're from the Jackson projects, Michelangelo projects,
Mm-hmm.
Patterson, this, that, and the other. It was mixed.
Yep.
So my belief and in my photography is that it was not just one ethnic group that started something. You
Yes.
know, we all started. So I was saw something on the internet where somebody had used my photographs in a trailer, that a documentary
Mm-hmm.
that they were doing, and I pretty much wrote back, "You don't have permission to use my photographs."
Right.
And it's so funny how this documentary that you're doing, saying that Puerto Ricans and everybody else were invited to this culture, that you're using a Puerto Rican's photographs to do this documentary.
Uh-huh.
How fucking ironic and double standard you're doing. And this guy has a following of like thousands and thousands of people, and they were attacking me on social media. I
Oh,
mean, it got to a point where they were threatening me.
no kidding.
Yeah, yeah, and I had never, ever, ever been attacked on social media.
And what was
Never.
the end result?
Um, Lawyers got involved.
Mm-hmm.
He stopped using my photographs,
Mm-hmm.
and stopped using the White Devils, his quote, photographs, because he was using Martha Cooper's photographs, Henry Chalfont's photographs, this and the other. But yet, you're calling us outsiders, but you're using our photographs in your documentary without permission.
Meanwhile,
Meanwhile,
in the Bronx, where we started from what I see, it was nothing but black and Spanish people doing the ciphers and having the jams on the weekends
yeah,
at 52 Park.
yeah. So, at the end of the day, I was fighting back,
Mm,
but a few people pulled my ear and said, Joe,
leave it alone.
leave it alone. And eventually they went
Mm-hmm.
away, went away. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that was something that I had never been through before. 'Cause
Wow.
the internet is a blessing and a curse.
It's rough.
It's
It's
rough.
rough. It's very rough,
It's rough.
especially with these new people. I
It's
say us and them new people,
it's rough.
Yeah, it is rough. So where we at now? Number 14. What role do you believe photography plays in preserving hip hop culture?
I mean, listen. Close your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
What do you see?
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
Open your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I bring to the culture. The
Mm-hmm.
visuals.
Right.
The visuals. There was only a handful of us, me, Ricky, a handful of us taking pictures back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we weren't working for a newspaper. We weren't working for a magazine. Nobody, know,
Paid y'all. You were just doing it for
we
the
were just doing it
love.
because of love. And
Mm-hmm.
now some of our images are the most sought after images in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You
She's
know,
a millennial. Tamika's a
and,
millennial. But she wants to. I'm gonna send her all those pictures. Wait till she sees all
but
those pictures.
when documentaries are done and this, that, and the other, they
Yes.
contact me.
Mm-hmm.
So, my role in this culture is pivotal because I documented some of the earliest images.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There's images out there that predate my images.
Right.
I'm going to put that out there. Okay.
Right. Right.
But we're not talking about, you borrowing your Uncle Chael's 110 Instamatic camera and taking pictures. That doesn't make you a photographer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or stealing your mother's, Kodak, camera. Doesn't make
Instant camera.
you took some photographs. You took some snapshots, and that's okay. I took it a step further and started developing my own film, just like
Mm-hmm.
Rick did. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what makes us photographers, documenters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 15, how do you see the future of hip hop photography evolving?
I mean, it's evolving every day. Like I said, this is, makes everybody a photographer. And
Mm-hmm.
that's okay. And that's okay because technology has evolved. Just like a DJ, I have 1,000 vinyl records. And back in the days, a DJ like Charlie Chase, Tony Tone used to have crates and crates of records. You
Right.
have to bring them out to the park and stuff. But now you can,
Put
put
it on
it
a
on
flash drive.
a flash drive and
Yep.
DJ all night long.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
DJ all night long. So, you have to embrace technology. You have to embrace everything that's coming new. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to stay relevant,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to stay relevant, I'm
Yeah.
okay in my lane where I'm at today. I still shoot film. I shoot digital. I've advanced in my digital work. Um, my computer now is my dark room.
Right.
It's not in the bathroom with all the chemicals and
Not anymore. Right. Right.
not anymore. So I'm still somewhat relevant, but
Mm-hmm.
you have to, you
Right.
have to, and that's in any type of photography.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And number 16, what advice would you give to aspiring photographers?
Document, 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 documents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your surroundings, your photography. There's so many different lanes you can go into. You can go into fashion photography, architectural photography. There's so many different lanes. Portrait. There's so many different lanes in photography you can go into.
Mm-hmm.
Pick a lane, pick 2 lanes, pick 3 lanes,
Right.
and just study and
Mm-hmm.
study and know the greats, know the
Yeah.
people that came before you, like I did. I know who Ansel Adams is. I know who all the great photographers, black and white photographers, know the history.
Black and white is dope.
To me, black and white's more colorful if you
Mm-hmm.
understand.
No, I definitely
Yeah,
understand. I understand.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonus question. I have a bonus question. What impact do you hope you have on your next, excuse me, let me start over. What impact do you hope to have with your photography in the hip hop community?
The impact that I have and I
Mm-hmm.
continue to have is that I have some of the earliest images.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and then, Questlove or somebody was like, that's a Joe Conzo photo. I've never seen that photo before. Oh my God. And I'll get a DM from Questlove or somebody, Joe, what do you mean Tito Puente played on Sugar Hill Gang's first album? I go, you didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sugar Hill
Wow.
Gang's first album, 1980. And if you look at the album cover, it says special appearance by Tito Puente.
Wow.
So, and you're telling we were guests to this culture.
How about that?
Shit. But my impact is that that I documented the birth of a $1 billion industry, a culture that so I mean we're going to be in the Olympics this year.
Mm. Wow. That's right. Isn't that
Yeah,
for hip
breaking,
hop, bebop,
breaking. Yeah,
break dancing? Break
yeah,
dancing.
going to be in the Olympics.
Stevie's in there?
I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure, but um, who would have ever thought that?
Who would have thought, right?
And I can say this now. I couldn't say this last year, but um, I had high-powered meetings with people from the Olympics and Nike and this, that, and the other, looking at my photographs to inspire their uniforms and their track shoes and this, that, and the
Mm.
other. So
Nice.
I haven't. My photographs play a role in this culture,
Mm.
especially in the humble beginnings of this culture.
Wow. Wow. Damn, bro.
How
You are
fucking
dope.
dope is that?
You are
Mad,
so
huh?
fucking dope, bro. Oh, I love you. Now, for the audience, what are you doing now and where can they find you?
Well, I'm retired.
Okay.
I've been retired now 6 years from the New York City Fire Department. Thank God that check
Mm.
comes in every fucking month. I
How
love
about
it.
that?
I love it. Pandemic, World War, that check comes in every fucking month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I shoot as much as I can. I travel as much as I can. You can see my work from the Smithsonian to the Delaware Museum to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Everywhere. I'm on IG,
Okay. Joe Conzo.
Facebook. Yeah, Joe Conzo.
Okay. Joe
Simple,
Conzo.
simple
Mm-hmm.
to remember.
Mm-hmm.
And my website, joeconzophotography.com.
Right.
And I try and stay busy as much as I can. A
Yes.
rolling stone gathers no moss.
How about
Just
that?
keep staying
Yep.
busy, you will be good.
Yep.
You
Thank
will
you
be
so
good.
much. Thank you so much. So it's so good to talk to you. Don't leave. I want to talk to you after the show's over. But I want to thank you so much. It's always great to see you. You know, you and your family are always in my heart. I love you guys.
Didn't I show up in your house one day in the ambulance?
You may have, I don't know, but we can talk about that afterwards, honey. Yo, I don't know about that. I might have been sick. I don't
You
know.
might have.
I might have been sick. All right, y'all. Listen, check every Monday, 7 p.m. Uptown with Mona. We be rocking. Next week's guest is Grandmaster D from the DJ from Houdini.
Any.
He'll be here.
Give him
Yes, he'll be here next Monday. And hopefully I see you guys. So tell a friend, tell another friend, and then tell one more person, and let's get this party
and we
started,
can all
y'all.
be friends.
That's right. And we're gonna all be friends. So I want y'all to have a great evening and we will talk soon. All right, guys. Later. Peace. Thank you for listening and hanging out with me at Uptown with Mona. See you next Monday, 7 p.m. Today's show is sponsored by
Come meet with me at Vegan Hood in New York City. I heard that they had the best vegan fried chicken here, so I had to come check it out. For appetizers, we ordered the cheese fries and the Beyond Meat stuffed empanadas. Both were super delicious. And for entrees, of course, we had to try their famous vegan fried chicken and their shrimp fry. I have to say, this is probably the best vegan comfort food I've ever had. The mac and cheese was so tasty, the potato salad was well seasoned and flavorful. I'm telling you, you need to check this place out next time you're in New York. Like and follow for more vegan recs.
Today's podcast is pre-recorded.